All right, so let's talk about the end of the conflict. A new post today by President Zelenskyy says he's ready to sign the minerals deal. Of course, that was expected to happen days ago, but will it happen soon? Joining me now to discuss all of this, former Undersecretary of Defense Robert Wilkie. Secretary Wilkie, such a pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining us again here today.
Always good to see you.
I think what Senator Tuberville was intimating is that Donald Trump is the one who can bring Putin to a negotiating table. With Zelensky's new comments today, he addressed the Oval Office shouting match for the very first time. Do you think Zelenskyy realizes that now as well? He does say, under President Trump's strong leadership, we want a peace that lasts.
Yeah. Well, let me say, I spoke with diplomats from Eastern Europe today, and they asked me what went wrong. I think the first thing that went wrong, and you actually had this in the previous segment when you focused in on Senator Murphy from Connecticut. Zelenskyy sat down with Murphy, and Murphy told him, don't accept the mineral deal. Don't accept any deal with Trump. We're going to help you. Now, to me, that is a political arsonist. And this tactical and strategic mistake, both, that Zelenskyy made was going to the Democrats first. And it's the same mistake that he made in the election when he shows up at a campaign rally organized by Democrats in Pennsylvania. It's striking to me, Bianca, that a guy who is a professional entertainer has so much trouble reading the room. But I do think that the mineral deal is important because, as President Trump has said, that gets Americans right into the middle of the country of Ukraine. And the one thing Vladimir Putin is not going to do in his current state of strategic exhaustion is cross any line that threatens the lives or the well-being of Americans.
In this new statement, Secretary Wilkie, he also says they're ready to work fast to end the war, the first stages, and he talks about, potential truce if Russia will do the same. We know over the weekend, Europeans were talking about this pause. And, during that Oval Office conversation, the word ceasefire, he had said, I don't want a ceasefire. Maybe it was a language, issue, English not his first language, but it does seem now that there could be even a potential for a pause in the fighting. How realistic do you think that is?
Well, you're going to have it. We've had that in all of our conflicts, be it World War I or Vietnam, where you've had to have a cessation of hostilities in order to cement a more permanent peace. That's going to have to be done. And look, let's be honest. Vladimir Putin is a KGB trained gangster. He's a killer. He is a master manipulator. He was trained in the last years of the Soviet Union. And this line that he's going to be some sort of interlocutor with Iran is absolute lunacy, considering the fact that President Trump has already told the world he is going to exert maximum pressure on the Iranian regime. And I think, even though he hasn't said it, in the hopes of actually bringing that regime of terror down, and then, of course, the resultant peace will be spread throughout the Middle East. All Putin wants to do is preserve his weapons pipeline going back and forth to the theocratic fanatics in Tehran.
Yeah, that was an interesting report that claimed Putin agreed to help Trump with talks on Iran, which clearly this administration does not need. But, when people are trying to get to a table, maybe it's about saving face. And we know there's been a lot of 3D chess all around here. Some of it's economic as well, as Putin may be looking for sanctions to help his struggling economy. It's great to have you in, Secretary Wilkie. Obviously, a lot of moving parts today as we await Donald Trump, our president's address to Congress this evening. Good to see you.
Good to see you as always.